Shakra, the great god Indra, looked down from his heavenly home upon that precious pearl in the skies, the earth. He saw beautiful snow-capped mountains, rich green forests, wide blue oceans. But then he heard the sound of war. He heard cows bawling. He heard dogs yelping. He had heard crows cawing. He heard children crying. He heard the weeping of the poor, the hungry, and the lonely. And Shakra said, something must be done. And so he turned himself into a forester, and beside him was a black hound. The hound's hair was tangled. His eyes were crimson red. His mouth was blood red, and his teeth were like fangs. And they descended down, down, down through the heavens, through the stars, and landed beside a walled city. And the guard called out, "Who goes there?" "I am a forester, and this is my hound." And the guard looked down into the hound's mouth, and it was as if he was looking into a cauldron of fire and blood. And the hound opened its jaw wider and wider still, and smoke came out of it. And the guard yelled, "Bar the gates, bar the gates!" But it was too late. Shakra and the hound vaulted over the wall, and the hound began to run through the city, herding the people against the wall like a wolf herding sheep. And the people screamed and yelled and ran. And then Shakra said, "Halt! My hound is hungry. My hound shall feed." And the ruler ordered the people to get food. And they came back as quickly as they could with wagons filled with meat and grains and fruit and vegetables. And in one gulp, the hound ate it all. And Shakra said, "My hound is hungry. My hound shall feed." And again, the people went out and brought in all the food that they had. And again, in one gulp, the hound ate it all. And then Shakra said, "My hound is still hungry." And the hound let out a howl that shook the earth, and the people fell to the ground in fright. And the ruler came before Shakra and said, "We have no more food." And Shakra said, "Well, my hound shall eat on the grasses and trees. He shall eat on the mountains. He shall eat the birds and beasts. He will gnaw on the sun and moon. My hound shall eat you." And then the people were on the ground begging, "Please, please spare us in our world. We will do whatever you say." And then Shakra rose into his full height, towering above the people and the city, and a light emanated from him. And he said, "Cease war. Cease fighting. Feed the hungry. Care for the sick. Comfort the orphaned. Help the poor. Care for the earth and its creatures. Teach your children kindness, compassion, and courage. And then you will not see my hound again." And in a flash, Shakra and the hound ascended into the heavens. And the people watched until they disappeared. And then they turned and looked at each other into their eyes and hearts. And they grabbed their hands and each vowed within their souls to do their best to fulfill Shakra's commands, because no one wanted to ever see the Black Hound again.